Like, I enjoy putting things out there for you all to watch.
Let me just go ahead and say here.
You do. At least one of us.
We had 69 subscribers. I don't know what our recent count was. At one point, we had 70 last night, and then one person unsubscribed.
Oh, we had 70?
We did have 70.
Was that person you in order to?
No, I was already. I'm already subscribed. I can't push this any further. I don't want, and I don't care enough to make new accounts. But now, so while I was streaming on my other on the other channel that I do, I was mentioning I was just like, we've been at 68 subscribers for so long. Which one of you fuckers hasn't subscribed? And then like 2 people subscribed.
We're at 69.
We can retire the podcast. And I told them, I was like, and I've been trapped on this podcast until we get to 69 subscribers. We can't retire until we hit 69. And then we hit 69, and I sent you the screenshot. And then somebody said, "Oh wait, I didn't subscribe." And then it went to 70, and I said, "Why would you do that?"
You ruined us.
And I told them to unsubscribe, so we went back to 69.
Do you know our first upload was Sinister?
No, it wasn't.
No.
Yeah, oldest
it
upload
was
is
actually
Sinister.
uploaded out of order.
Oh,
because
and
I thought
you
Birdcage.
can't like undo that.
That's so weird.
Annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Even
says
though
our first
Birdcage
upload was Sinister.
That's one of the like if you know trivia questions. If like hardcore viewers were like,
the question is, what was the first upload to the channel?
Yeah.
And most of you all would get it wrong.
Birdcage.
I would say Birdcage, and we would have all lost, and then Jill would have been like, actually, it was Sinister.
I know.
Yeah.
I would have got that one right.
I wouldn't have.
I find that frustrating.
It's
Yeah.
I will never unhear it now.
I don't know how that even happened.
Can we delete Sinister and re-upload it?
It
So it's
uploads
even
in
more
April.
Yeah. Just it's not a delete, it's a re-release of our videos.
Well, let's just start doing that with everything.
I
like
think we should.
anytime there's down periods where we're not really doing anything,
Just
we
re-release them.
re-release.
Hey, have you guys ever seen fucking
From the
Rush?
vault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I would watch Rush again.
Yeah.
Just our review of it, not the movie.
Yeah.
Although Natalie...
I'm not rewatching.
No, I rewatched the movie though. Natalie Dormer's a snack in that first like 10 minutes of that movie.
She's a nurse.
Yeah.
Mid.
Yeah. No,
How long do you think it is before we start rewatching movies?
A long time, because there are a lot of
Later
movies
this year.
out there.
No, I mean like for nostalgic reasons, somebody puts a movie we've already
Oh,
reviewed.
can we
That's
do
not
that?
against the rules.
I'll put Tim and Eric on there.
Because it's been years now.
It has been.
Like it's been
been
long
like
enough
5
where
years.
somebody's probably thinking like, it'd be nice to watch again.
Uh-huh.
Snatched.
Snap. You know what?
Brothers.
Do
That's
we
my
want to
pick.
do a whole? Are we gonna do?
No,
here's how it's
we're
gonna
not.
go.
We're not
A whole
doing-
season of run
We're
back.
That's
not
our team.
doing themes.
More themes, more run back, less.
Like gain no ground.
No
Just
ground.
spin your wheels.
You just tread water.
Easily our worst seasons. Easily. And we
Season-
all said it.
Season
No,
3
I
and
think
4.
they were fun to like yell about.
They were our most emotional seasons.
They were.
I agree with that statement.
Our voices got a little raspy.
I think-
the next day because of them.
When I get older, you know how you get older, your voice naturally gets that rasp.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna hit that like 10 years sooner, just because of the season 3 and 4 of this show. Price will hit it about 7 years sooner. Easily.
Probably right.
Yeah.
I
He's
get
gonna be
hot
like,
sometimes.
all right,
He's
kids.
running there. He's gonna have a kid too. That's just gonna.
Yep.
It might
He's
be
gonna
3
be like
years.
Bryce because he didn't want to change it up too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing? It's gonna be all.
Better
He's
just
gonna sound
call
all
Robbie.
Batman-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like I've been smoking for 30 years.
That's what it'll be. That's his podcast. Anyways, so let's get started. Clap sync.
Yeah, we can go for it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to an incredibly sexy episode of the F Movie Podcast. I'll get there. We're your hosts, Bryce, Dylan, Mason, and Nathan in that order. And today, let's not worry about the review. We now have, as of this moment, 69 subscribers. Can I get a nice in the comments? I want all the nice.
Yeah, let's go.
All the nice, all the thumbs up. Later, it's built into the script, but don't subscribe. We're fine. But
Not a single one of you.
but
We
you can-
will ask at
we
the end.
will ask, but I encourage you not to. You can hit the thumb and the bell, but the subscribe button's fine. Leave
We're
it
gonna
as
have to
is.
like hone in our subscribers now. If we get to like 76, we're
Start
gonna have to really
curating.
yeah,
We're gonna have to
trim
make
it
some
down.
We're gonna have to.
We're gonna have to like start banning people.
Exactly. I'm a firm believer
Just
that
keep showing up.
because here's what's gonna happen if we go past 69, it's just gonna leap to 1 million and like
For sure.
Yeah,
on the
but
dime.
that's
You hate to
usually how
see
it
it.
And I-
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
I've
not
seen it
ready for
happen.
that.
no, I'm not ready for success. I'm not
Yeah,
ready to.
I couldn't handle
Couldn't
it.
do it.
Yeah,
Couldn't do
it's not the life.
But if we did have that kind of subscribers, we could afford to go to space, which, Mason, that ties in wonderfully with what movie?
It's not really that we need the subscribers to go to space, it's that we need the sponsors to go to space.
Yeah, you're right.
God,
which is why we're sponsored by...
I was going to say, anybody with Etsy's, let us
know.
You off here.
Listen, we got 69 subscribers, not to brag, but you should go ahead and sponsor us before we blow up. We'll stop ignoring your calls.
I mean, we're doing a lot of talking around it. What movie are we?
What movie are we supposed to be
talking
about?
housekeeping.
We're watching Interstellar Light.
Fuck you for taking the commentary on this.
No, it's Spaceman. Adam Sandler signed a huge contract with Netflix. I think he had to make 10 movies, and I think this is number 4. Might be number 3.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Oh my! No, I remember hearing about 10. I just forgot it was that much.
That is a real thing. Which means you have a lot more to go. Now, granted, Hubie Halloween was in there. I think he had another one before that.
The lizard one.
Well, Uncut Gems was the first one, I think. And Leo.
What was the Western one? Isn't there
one
where it's cowboys?
Yeah, there's a Western one.
It's like
That
a
doesn't
spaghetti
matter.
Western.
That's not the one we watched.
Anyways,
not the one we watched.
Spaceman. It's a movie where there's a single man mission, basically going to the outskirts of Jupiter, trying to collect this purpley floating dust that's up in space. It's supposed to last 1 year, and he is about halfway through his journey. And while he's talking to Mission Control, some things get haywire.
Hijinks ensue.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, we have to mention the spider in the preamble.
Do we?
I think it's important.
Was that really a big part? Yeah, I was gonna say. Was there even a spider in the movie?
I don't remember. I just remember Paul Dano.
I find it interesting that the premise of this movie is the Czech Republic sends an astronaut to space, a single
person.
Meanwhile, what was it? South Korea.
South Korea is hot on their tail.
Yeah.
Had a whole village of people.
And has several. I mean, I wouldn't say a village, but
you saw 4 in like a hallway.
3 or 4, yeah.
So I assume...
Relative to the Czech Republic, it was a whole town.
And they had gravity.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
They were walking down the hallway.
Well,
he was on the phone.
Czech couldn't afford the gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that was probably the weirdest thing, was that this was a solo mission.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah, very, very odd premise out of the gate, but I mean it allows it to go to some interesting places.
I would agree with that. That's a correct wording.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but
spider. We
have to get into the fucking spider. All right,
we gotta get to the rooms. All right,
we get into it. Listen, nothing happens in this movie before the spider actually comes in. Let's just
besides a little bit of like backstory with he has a wife on Earth.
His wife leaves him that message before the spider comes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's like the whole crux of the movie.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't see this message, but
he can't see the message. We're told that several times. Price.
Yeah, we were.
He will not be seeing that message.
Yeah, we can't send that to him.
Twice from the same lady.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, what the fuck? Like, I don't care what has happened between you and your partner.
Oh my God!
Don't do that.
Don't
send
that.
You.
Yeah. Can we get one for the boys? One for the boys.
Obviously,
yeah.
That's just
women.
Obvious. He's up there alone by himself with their unborn child.
He could hit the eject button and just leave it all right there.
Right.
I don't know. That was.
Yeah,
that woman is pro-suicide, is what she is.
His wife, who is pregnant, they've clearly been struggling with the fact that he has his eyes aimed on like doing something important.
He's not even in the same galaxy
as her. And not at all looking at like a personal level assessment of his life and like having any concern for his wife or anything going on with her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like totally fair, not a guy that you should stick with, but you don't send him a message while he's 6 months out in space by himself
with
that
6
you
months
are like
to go.
leaving him.
Yeah.
Chat, comments, viewers. Sorry, this is the actual successful channel spocking.
That's us.
Actually, listen, that one makes ad revenue. So,
how much
we could do
for viewers at home.
God.
Would you, if you're dating somebody who's like, let's say, an addict and they recently relapsed, and they're like burning down their life, and then that's the time. And I'm not saying you shouldn't break up with them at that time. I'm just saying. Do you wait until they're like going into rehab to tell them? You know what I mean? Like read the room. There are better times than this.
I agree.
And I feel like you picked the absolute worst time to drop that
I don't think you even have to like make an analog for this. Like just simply like
space.
If you have a partner who is in space, which there are people on this planet currently that have a partner in space.
Yeah.
You don't, while they're halfway through their year-long mission in space, say, by the way, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah. There should be a support group for them to be like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, any reasonable person would not do that.
She kind of
Anybody
went,
that you would talk to would
she
say,
kind of went to a support group.
The mom
thing.
or
like the pregnant group.
Yeah.
Where she's in that house.
Yeah.
Oh, so all of those people are awful.
Right. They're awful too.
Yeah.
Can we all agree that pregnant people are awful?
Let's talk about more of the movie besides that. Even though that's very important.
That was a very big issue, but we can move on.
I mean, that's effectively the whole plot.
It's a big issue in the sense that it creates a situation where he no longer is hearing from her.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that is, like, really messing with it.
His psyche takes a toll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you slowly figure out that he's taking the sleeping medicine, which is kind of neat because that kind of throws it into this like nightmares, which is introducing.
Like he's having lots of strange dreams. He's on this ship that is weirdly funded mostly by like household cleaning.
No. This I think, and I haven't looked it up, but I think that this is supposed to be a like slightly different like future
dystopian
because
like, but
all that shit.
It's a pretty realistic future.
It's not
well,
even
but it's based like further back. Like I think that this was supposed to be in like the 80s or 90s because he had like a household telephone that was still corded. I mean, it was massive, and it was.
But they also had like PCs and computers that were way too ahead of their time.
I don't know because he had that big like mic thing that looked like it would be a huge. And Mission Control, his little Peter buddy, like back home, dude, that thing, it had a mic out to here.
Yeah, but they're talking through space, so maybe they need like tech like that.
Like at one point, he does call Peter, and he like pulls out. I mean, it is a flip phone.
It
but
is.
It's not like it's not a big.
It's
flip
not like
phone.
a fancy flip phone. Yeah, right.
But okay, I want to get into.
You can call somebody from space
that's
6
crazy.
months out onto their cell phone.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like that's pretty high tech.
He followed the manual, you know.
I about the spider?
I don't care about the spider.
What?
I care.
You don't care
about her news?
The ads got on my nerves so much with this movie.
No, you didn't like the part where he's like, "Oh, you can't actually use this until you've at least said."
You got to read the line
because it's like an idea that seems like it's a very important idea that they wanted to possibly explore in this movie. And they drop it in occasionally, but don't talk about it. Like they just like here's like you can't talk until you do the ad, and they have like an ad during the teleconference. And that's
he was on that jar that Hanus had been like, "Oh, you're huge in your tribe."
Exactly,
Yeah.
But like it's just an idea, a very half-baked idea that they presented to the audience, and then just didn't delve into it at all, and didn't like have much of a commentary.
They could have done a better job with it. Yeah, like I thought that like that was an interesting idea, but it was poorly executed. Mm-hmm. Like there wasn't really enough there.
Because you're the world's #1 at that point, and you're gone this mission.
They just shouldn't have introduced the idea if they weren't going to fully explore it and like give it the time it needed, because they very much beat the idea into the ground of like him like having unfulfilled relationship with his wife and stuff, and they hammered that into the ground. Got the picture,
I mean,
but didn't present
that's the whole plot.
That's
the one plot point.
Then they should have introduced this small concept if they weren't even going to do anything with it.
I thought it was kind of funny the moments that they did, because it was literally like he was just trying to decontaminate the ship. He was like, "Listen, you gotta do this," and he was like, "Bombas, it's safe in space, so it's safe in your house." And then he hit the button, and it's like it's the dumbest but like funnest thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
But
bite size.
They present it but don't do any commentary.
I wanna follow up on Price's point and say that this movie, as far as plot goes, is incredibly thin. Yeah, the only real, I mean, I keep saying it, the only real plot point is, oh, the wife sent a message and she wants to leave him. The movie. And then they were like, how do we make that interesting? And they said, let's put a fucking spider in there.
Let's put the coolest thing we could possibly put in there.
But let's do that really cool thing that's for much smarter movies, not in this movie, where we make it ambiguous to make you unsure if we feel like this is actually going on, it's a psychological thing, or if this is
I feel like it was ambiguous.
I know, that's what I'm saying,
It
is
really
that they went for
was.
that, but I'm like, this movie doesn't feel like it deserves the
I don't know.
ambiguity of it.
I actually really appreciate the fact that he only mentioned one time to Mission Control, "Are you seeing this? Like, can you please, for love of God,
they
be
said
men?"
like there's no all the camera feeds.
Right.
Yeah, and then that was the last you heard about it. Like he didn't like try to record him. He didn't try to bait him. He didn't try to do anything.
Well,
he was just like,
really
all right.
press him in the moment where he was like freaking out about like saving him.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't seem like he got pressed on like
it seemed like
who
they were
he was after or like who could have possibly been on that ship.
Right, and they're like, I don't know. Sure, fucking wipe it, bro. I don't know. Say the mama line. Like,
yeah. Just take a deep breath or something. Dude.
Yeah.
Stop talking to yourself. That's pretty much all that you got from it, which I liked that because otherwise, it's.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Now, follow-up question. Who's the better love interest, his wife or Hanush?
Hanush.
I mean,
100%.
he loves Hanush way more than he loves his wife. Can we agree on that much at least?
I don't think he loves him in like a romantic sense.
I don't think if his wife... No, not in that way, right?
He loved him in the fact that he had been alone for 6 months
finally
straight,
something to connect with.
and he had something right in front of him.
6 months just ain't that long. Like this
Nathan's like, I could do
Nathan,
it.
I agree to the point where, like, if you were in this house, you couldn't hear cars go by. You essentially don't see the sun.
Yeah.
Like you don't
hear people, see
anything.
people. That like.
I think the point of
and your toilet is exploding every 5 minutes.
the point of being like him being alone, I think is fine. I think he signed up for this mission because he was fine with being alone, and all of the the prequel stuff was like he pretty much was alone. He shoved his wife away. He didn't really care about her. He didn't really do that. But when he was cut off with communication with her for an extended period of time, that's when he started getting in his head and was like, hey, like, maybe I did some stuff wrong, like, I've been wrong this whole time, and then he thought of the spider, or the spider was real, but, like, he was going to be fine with alone. Like, if he did get to speak to his wife once a month, I think he would have been fine.
Yeah.
But he went that long period, and that's when he got in his own head and started thinking, like, being alone isn't what I want.
Which is a precursor to how he felt at the very, very end, where he was like, if I could do it all over again, like, I would never give up. Like, it was just...
that big voicemail.
To make it ooze all over itself. You know, like, it's whatever.
What's the movie with two Jake Gyllenhaals?
Enemy.
I mentioned it in Signal.
You kept mentioning that, and I really couldn't remember the that movie. Like, I've already forgotten so much of it, and I was just like... Oh yeah,
outside of the giant spider. Outside of the giant spider.
It's weird that we have two of them, right?
If I had a nickel for every time a giant spider was in a movie, I'd have 2 nickels.
It's not a lot, but it is weird that we have two.
I mean, this thing is like a spider, but it's also it's like got a human mouth.
The mouth threw me off.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was this big.
Yeah, it had a little
but it
mouth
could fit
and
that
it had
massive thing.
It had like 2 tentacle hands.
Yeah, well,
too, that it was like using to get like the hazelnut spread and like
he was
eat
deep
it.
throating it too.
Yeah.
He was like,
he was like cleaning himself.
This reminds me of home.
Hannah puts pills in her mouth that way. Not to like pick on her for a second. She won't watch this video. When she grabs pills, she's so afraid to drop them. She goes and then drops them with her fingers.
It's probably a mental thing where you're like, I can place it on the back of my tongue.
It's something you don't think is strange until you see it so many times, and you're like, are you? You know? That's not the point.
That's another review.
That's another review.
You are the love of my life.
Yes, love her. But so, okay.
Hanush.
Here's what I'll say about Hanush.
What about?
Here's what I'll say about that spider. Great voice actor.
Paul Dano.
Oh man,
great voice actor though.
So good.
Smooth as butter.
Very, very chill the whole time.
Charming.
Yeah.
Really?
We say charming.
Yeah,
because
we can say charming.
Have you ever like wanted to be next to a spider in your life?
Have you ever wanted to like hug a spider?
The embrace is a bit
yeah.
much, but I'm still here for it.
I loved it.
That
I
was
loved
good.
the last fourth of their relationship. I actually was very much on board for. The
Yeah.
part that got me when I was like, okay, like I actually care for this guy was when Hanush was talking about how like he's actually sick and how he's got that thing going on. And
I wasn't honest with you.
And then
Yeah.
Adam Sandler's like, you never said anything like that. And then he said, you never asked. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
That's an actually good line.
Mhm.
It's perfect.
Right.
It's perfect for the situation. I was like, okay, I'm in this movie. So
Yeah.
at that point, I actually checked into the movie.
Which that was about
That's-
the 80.
That's about 80. That's 82 into the 90-minute movie.
But it ended on a high note for me, which is very good. It's better being starting high.
if they peaked
ending
early
low.
and then went low, then it would have
Yeah.
been downhill.
I tagged Mason in.
Okay.
No, I was just giving you a high five.
Oh,
Okay, we'll tag me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was really nice.
Yeah.
I thought it was peaceful. If we had, here's a follow-up question. Companion, which would you rather be in with Daniel Radcliffe?
With Swiss Army Man?
Would you rather be in Swiss Army Man or would you rather be in this movie?
Wait,
This one.
are you Paul Dano and both circumstances?
No, you're Daniel Radcliffe in the Swiss Army.
So you're
Paul Dano's your companion either way, but which one do you want to get?
So am I a dead body who farts all the time?
Correct.
Or am I Adam Sandler?
Yes.
I'm the farting one.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll be Adam Sandler. I can get away with it.
Me and Nathan are built different. We could be in space for 6 months, no problem. So
we can take a bear.
We don't need the spider, but it would be nice.
As long as you can get around its throat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen,
dude, you couldn't get around the spider's throat. He had hands.
No, that I don't even know where his throat is. Let me start there.
I don't either. But he told him not to touch him.
He said, "Don't touch me," and then
he did it.
no.
No, but I think that
fucking movie, bro.
I think that the spider, talking about the voice acting and stuff, like he just kept pushing it to where like it wasn't so obnoxious every time he tried to get into his memory and stuff.
Yeah.
I liked that, where he was like, no, we're gonna talk about this like right now,
brother. I think
at
we need
one
to talk
point he
about
interrupts his like dialogue with
presses the button.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I honest to God, I cannot say enough about the spider. I was disturbed for about this many seconds because like whenever it was coming out of his mouth and stuff.
Yeah.
Out after that, I feel like it was just like,
hey,
this
buddy.
thing is so chill. And he kept saying at the very beginning, "I'm not here to harm you." You know, it's just
It's not my vibe.
yeah.
It's not my tempo.
And he kept talking. I wanted more lore. Like I wanted spider.
So do you
space.
think this was actually an alien?
Do you think this was an actual
Could've
alien
been.
spider?
I wanted it to be.
I'm purely on the fence.
I'm
It's
like very much
psychological
on the side of
hallucination.
it's psychological.
For sure, it's
Totally.
psychological.
Mostly,
I want it to be an
mostly
alien.
for the fact that, like you mentioned in the beginning, like he is taking the stuff that's making him have nightmares.
Yeah.
He's been isolated for a really long time. He experiences it like moving under his skin and
Yeah,
stuff.
that
So
comes
like,
out of his mouth.
I don't
Came
think
out of
that
him.
spider comes out of him.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that
No,
actually
not physically.
happened.
But
No,
like
right.
it's from him, as in like it's
But-
all in his head.
But the
Yeah,
movie would
but-
imply that it's like, if this is real, that's how that did happen.
And
Otherwise, this is all
only,
mental.
The only fight against is the fact that he was like, "Oh yeah, that purple stuff it can't be contained." So like, otherwise you wonder how the thing even got in there anyway.
Yeah.
He
Like,
vacuums
how
it
did
like a
get there?
dummy.
Yeah.
In the book, it's made more apparent that Hanush is real as Jacob meets a cosmonaut who claims to have also talked to Hanush.
Huh.
That's cool. Well, like an actual person.
Well, this is an Adam Sandler movie about a book.
The director
so-
said that he believes it's real too.
Well, the director's an idiot.
I like the idea that it's real because he also gets out in space. And, like, you know, you also kind of get that, too, where it's like, yeah, he's come across universes, he's come across
Yeah, but there
wherever.
wasn't a spinning top at the end of the movie.
That's true.
So
That's
I don't
true.
know if
And
it's...
you didn't hear,
if
whoa!
it's-
Why's he got to be a spider?
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's no reason that it would be a spider.
Yeah.
I don't
No.
care. They made a spider seem neat.
No, I mean,
No,
yeah. Like,
Otherwise,
I-
you're going to get a big, tall head thing with big eyeballs.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
want that. I don't
Yeah,
want
and
that.
it's supposed to, like, make you uneasy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's-
Oh, big
or,
time.
or twist your normal
Nipples?
feel about it. Maybe your nipples.
Can you imagine
little
using
hands?
little
Yeah,
hands?
just
You
He
can do
got
it,
the little
yeah.
hands.
little pinchers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
keep calling him a spider, but he's got a lot of not spider features.
I agree.
Yeah, but it's mostly spider
Yeah,
features,
I mean,
though,
he-
so...
You would definitely call that a spider,
We'd
no matter
call it a
where you
spider,
were. But
yeah.
yeah.
We would do that.
That's a super spider, though.
Yeah.
That's a spider that.
That's
knows
a
it's
that's an
spider.
average
spider.
Australian spider.
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead and
Do
know
what
that.
price?
No, it's that super spider.
Super
Oh.
spider is what he said. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, do we have other thoughts or commentary? Because that really is much of the movie.
There's
Yeah.
not much to it. Did you all
There's
like the
not.
wife?
No.
What'd you think about her?
I thought that
Mulligan.
she
I mean,
shouldn't be
she-
sending him
she's-
messages in space. That rubbed me all the wrong way for the whole movie.
She's just got that like pixie girl kind of
Yeah.
vibe going on.
That's
Yeah.
a good.
That's what she was
Okay.
supposed to be, and so many movies like to do that where they pair up that girl with the depressed
Yeah.
downer guy.
Well,
They love the bipolar pairing,
to
right?
me, the relationship didn't make any sense anyway. Because even the flashbacks, you weren't given much in this movie. You were given about 4 flashbacks throughout the entire thing,
Then you're in the ship.
and then
Yeah.
you're in the ship, and all of those flashbacks, he was exactly how Nathan just said, the depressed, very
Mhm.
monotone. hey, I'm really excited about this new job offer. This is the greatest opportunity I've ever had.
She's
literally said it like that.
She's wanting to skinny dip in the pool.
Yeah,
and he's like, I do not want to.
Yeah.
And she's like,
Yeah.
Like, what?
And Hanush is like, just remember the good times.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like all the time she was having fun and you were being a heel.
yes.
The flashbacks would make her imply that she's like a much cooler character than what we get, but the character we get, I mean, I get it. It's a different part of where her life is, but we get that so up front that she becomes very unsympathetic to me by the time they do start doing the flashbacks. I'm just kind of like, girl, you're still fucking.
It's a Last of Us Part 2 problem.
Yeah.
Big time. Don't spoil that, but it's Last of Us Part 2. Big time.
It's also like similar to like Eternal Sunshine.
Yes and no. Full circle.
Something happens.
Yeah.
And they want
I
you
know
to
what you're
like
talking
it.
about,
exactly
but
right.
Like it's
I'm gonna play it one more time.
And she's very like, you're exactly right. Actually, yeah, it's the same girl.
Yeah. I was just saying it's like Eternal Sunshine.
It is the same.
Clementine.
It's like
I wouldn't know.
like many of the Garden State.
You know, you've missed a lot more movies than anybody else.
Yeah, you missed.
Take
you
one
missed
away from
everything.
him.
Take it away.
Give it to me.
Take it away. Give it to Mason.
I
Mason will
took
give
the
it to
blame
Jill.
for that. That was my fault.
Yeah.
Goodness.
You could always catch up, but you never will.
Oh, no, I won't.
I think he should. You know what? I think now we have to pick a movie from the same genre, Manic Pixie Dream Girl, but we have to pick like an insignificant, lesser one.
Tank Girl would have been one.
Tank Girl kind of has
Yeah,
that
Tank Girl's a Manic
energy
Pixie
little
Dream
bit,
Girl.
but she's.
Scott Pilgrim would be good.
I feel like that's more.
Garden State's probably good, but their soundtrack's a banger.
Yeah.
He would
I
hate
need
it
to
though.
watch that one again. Yeah.
He would hate Garden State, so you should watch Garden State.
I'm not watching any of these.
Okay, so yeah, Hanush is a banger. Adam Sandler's fine.
Adam Sandler's a good vessel.
I feel like he did a good job.
He's a good vessel.
He didn't. He wasn't terrible in this movie. I'll give him that.
Like if you had told me that I was going to watch a movie with Adam Sandler in it about him being in space and he was going to be the sole person in space,
You would have thought they would have been like
I would be
raunchy.
like, yeah, that's going to be an awful movie.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how he's going to act like he's in 5th grade.
How's Billy Madison going to get in the space cadet program?
Oh, Billy.
Yeah.
I can't wait till I go to space, Billy.
This may be showing my hand a little bit, but it definitely helps that the description of this movie puts the bar pretty low for me, and it's like, it's not that bad. You know, so we'll get there. But
we want to do Fat Thin?
You know it, you love it, Price.
When do we do question?
After.
Oh, okay. This movie's fit. I don't know why. I
Me
think
either.
like it objectively. I think it is fat, but I think it's fit. I honestly wasn't like. My time with the movie was fine.
Movie's fat. Cut the wife. Cut a lot of that
That's
stuff.
the movie.
You need
the
a
whole thrust.
Yeah.
No,
you
cut
need
the wife.
Some kind of an issue.
No.
Somewhere.
The issue is enough that he's spending 6 months in
The
space.
toilet's not enough of an issue. The wife is
The
maybe too
toilet's
much
enough.
of an issue.
The toilet's listen.
So you got to even them out.
The
I
wife
will
takes
say,
one thing.
were
The
I
toilet's
in
the wife,
space
yeah.
and dealing with the constant noise of that would bother me.
Yes,
that
you'd be
sort of
talking
stuff.
to
That's what
control.
sets.
Like in this room, when these lights are at this color, I can hear the high-pitched hum of one of the capacitors
Oh, Jesus.
on the lights behind that TV.
Wait, hold on,
and
can
that
we-
annoys me. Can you
I
hear
can
it?
hear something. I didn't know it was that.
I just hear like a buzz
Hold
kind
on.
of thing.
Hold on.
I hear no. Keep the review going. We're still
I
on.
want to hear.
I know
that.
we're not
Take a
I'll
word
hear it
for it.
after.
I know we're not
I'll
successful,
point it
but
out
we
to
do
you.
need to keep
It's
going.
fat. I truly don't think they like. I mean, I know it's especially based off a source material book with it as well. That's great. We don't need the wife. I really do think like him losing his mind in space. That context is enough. Like, and the wife does not. The wife's parts are the draggiest parts for
Let me fix this for you.
Go
okay?
ahead. Fix it for me.
I think it's fit, but the way that you fix that, you take Carey Mulligan out and you put someone that's a little bit more like appealing.
Zoe
No,
Deschanel.
No, they could still be a very down to earth
Just
person.
plug Anna de Armas in. That's what everybody else does.
Hey!
And I keep saying, I
Yeah.
keep watching.
in a dreary type tone and just make their
Anna-
history feel a little bit more.
Anna de Armas. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Every time. Yeah.
She can be the spider. She can be Adam Sandler.
I
It's whatever.
I want her to act in every movie.
Same here.
Sydney Sweeney would be fine too.
No,
Yeah, but she's got to do that one pool scene way longer.
I don't know. What that
Anyway,
is.
so
yeah,
I'm
Just
guessing.
kidding,
I'm guessing
Debbie.
her boobs out, but
every
I don't
time.
know.
That's the only reason I watch her movies.
This movie is fit, but it's also fat. But it's fat.
What?
It's fat by nature. Like
Okay.
it needs to be fat.
It's thick.
You might not want to sit down for it, and you might want it to get trimmed up, but
It needs the context.
it needs the time that it is
Sometimes you
taking.
linger into it.
Yeah, like it is not. This movie is not meant to be fast. You're not going like, and it shouldn't be like that. That would defeat the whole purpose of it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to sit here with these characters and just like stew with them in the situation they have found themselves in.
It's considered a slow burn, and that is exactly what this is. It's just a psyche.
Yeah, and movies that are psychological by nature want you to be in that headspace, so they want it to linger, and they want the lulls. They want that stuff to like make the uncomfortable stuff set in. I get that. Cut the wife. The question, Price, you had one, buddy?
What movie do you honestly like more? This or Interstellar?
Interstellar.
You're a Nolan stan. Get out of here.
Yeah, I am. It's Interstellar. Duh.
Oh man, that's
I
tough.
love it when people talk like this and then something happens and the whole room shakes and your subwoofer breaks.
I'm not the,
Oh,
It's such a
yeah.
I'm not
difficult
defending that. That's
question.
super annoying.
Because like
but
Interstellar
it's
had
a
a
difficult
budget
question.
of a like I don't even know how many
300
times
million.
bigger than this.
Well,
more than that.
The question's still there.
Yeah.
I mean, Interstellar is just deep. Like I don't know. I probably would pick Interstellar over this
When
one.
Gravity was Love.
Yeah.
That's
Murph.
deep.
Are we talking about the movie Gravity now, or are we talking about...
Was that the cookout menu?
It was.
I
thought about
Everybody
it.
judge it in the comments below.
Yeah, I went to Berkeley.
Cookout's
so
amazing.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean it's these two are hard to compare. I feel like there's probably other movies that compare
Sorry,
better
it's
to
actually
Spaceman.
But Birdemic then, never mind.
Yeah.
What
Did a
about
lot.
It did a lot for that.
I mean, this is, you know, in terms of a man alone in space, you could also throw The Martian in there.
Apples and oranges.
Yeah, The Martian's a more apt description, I think, between the two, if we're being honest. Like,
I don't care.
In which case,
I
I still
thought
pick The
I
Martian.
had something. The question sucked.
No,
No.
I have a question.
All right, yours is better.
So, did anybody feel any tingle when Hanush, got the jar of hazelnut and eventually just started to like deteriorate and then got eaten alive? That destroyed me. You guys have asked before.
mm-hmm.
This is what gets you.
Dude, it was
This-
ridiculous.
A spider in space deteriorating, but not.
I watched this movie with
Dear
me, right?
Zachary?
No. And
I
and
get
I
out
told
of
him
here.
It's people, but it's spiders.
I will say it didn't really hit me like that because my thought with it was like he kept going on about how it's like there's reaching the beginning, there's no beginning or end and all this sort of stuff.
And somebody's beginning.
Whenever he was consumed by all those things and like turned into a cloud of stuff, it's like in my mind I was just kind of thinking like that's kind of like just giving birth to a whole host of new life.
It's just
in a way.
reincarnation. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if we're splitting hairs.
So I was kind of more in that headspace thinking about it, and I wasn't just like
thinking that this physical
feeling-
thing is just
I wasn't
dying.
feeling bad for like the loss of that one life because I was just like it's very interesting to think about the fact that it's like the end of one thing is the beginning of so much more.
Yeah. And they did say this is the beginning. It's
Yeah.
it's material from the beginning is what he kept saying that the purple stuff was. But no, I think that like in the matter of time where the spider showed up and the relationship, like you just said, Price, earlier.
You were in with
Don't
it.
bring me into this.
Yeah,
No, you said
Bryce
it.
said this 10 out of 10 movie. I love the spider.
Yeah, play it
Bring
back.
out
Yeah,
that
play back.
button.
No, I think that in the amount of time that this movie had to create this relationship between the two, they did a fantastic job at the friendship. And I think that that him getting just completely eaten alive at the end was just the icing on top. It was
Yeah.
just like
I didn't think they were gonna go that way.
I didn't
No.
either.
Like it got real like oof like
Mhm.
once that happened I was like man, Adam Sandler. There's stuff moving under him. I mean, he's about to come back to Earth, and they all dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they are all getting
Be like,
Yeah.
We'll talk about
what's
Interstellar.
the Natalie Portman movie? Where she comes
Annihilation.
back- Annihilation.
Yeah.
Kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
You want to talk about
Banger
Interstellar?
movie.
That's
Can we
a-
rewatch
yeah.
that? Put that back on the wheel.
Who was it? Matthew McConaughey was like behind the bookcase. That was kind of like him in that little sound realm. Whenever he was like, "These are all the
Yeah.
sounds that have
Yeah.
ever
Oh
been."
yeah,
Blah blah
because
blah.
it was all like waves.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
all that.
It's
So,
kind of similar,
And I wasn't
actually.
for that.
Well, that was.
all right, so I'll say this. My quick commentary before we move on into this is saying this movie is how Price describes Interstellar. When people who don't like Interstellar talk about Interstellar, this is
review.
actually what they're
talking
watching.
about.
Like truly,
It's
this is.
slow. It's.
I wish I was
thin,
watching this instead.
Shut up! I'm gonna. Oh my
I hate
god! I can't wait.
Interstellar.
I'll put Interstellar on the wheel.
God, I hate
I mean,
that
it has
movie.
been It's been brought up a lot.
I know, this is one of those movies
And
that
it's always him bringing up
it's always
negative
him and me bringing it up positively.
You're like, I'm just not smart enough for it. Like,
Yeah.
that's the three things.
I
going
know.
on.
But
It's not a smart movie.
it's
It
a
is a
smart
smart- it's
movie.
love.
It's love,
Bryce.
Murph.
Come on, Bryce, it's love.
Ah!
I do.
Oh no! It's the same thing though. Like
Yeah.
it's the same exact
I'm gonna
vibe.
name our baby Hanush.
Dude,
You
honestly,
better.
I do that.
You better. Confirmed.
Sounds like a sneeze.
Can we
Hanush.
when you have your kid, can we put out a video with like a thumbnail of their face blanked out and it's like Hanush is born? And
Yeah. Go for it.
And then it's just us reviewing whatever
Tell
we're
our
doing.
69 subscribers about it.
Nice.
No more, no less.
Not a one. Don't you dare subscribe. Don't you dare unsubscribe either. Or else.
You can trade spots, but you have to
Yeah.
coordinate it.
Yeah.
The balance is now complete. Scores.
All right, Nathan.
Nathan,
You
start
gonna
off.
start us off?
One thing we didn't really mention at all is the fact that his dad had a brief moment where he looked like he was torturing some guy in a shed, and
Oh yeah.
like
Shout out to
there was some dark stuff in Adam Sandler's
I think
past.
it was meant to be like he
The
just grew up
KGB
in a
he's a
strict
K-
household.
He was a KGB agent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
Like,
I mean,
I
they
get
mentioned
that,
it.
but it was like, oof. Like,
They just wanted to do a prisoner shout out
No,
because they had
honestly.
Donna on there, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this movie is way more interesting than I thought it was going to be. It does have a couple of fumblings on ideas that I'm guessing I didn't know it was based on a movie or a book, so I'm guessing it was like stuff that was in the book that probably plays better than it does in their execution of the film. I'm basically only talking about the whole advertising thing. Like I thought that was interesting, and they drop it in and don't really do much with it. The relationship stuff, Sandler's character is an absolute heel, and it's such a trope to put that sort of character with the wife that he has, and it's strange how many times that is a thing in movies,
Like
and I guess maybe in the book too. I don't know. Maybe books also love to write this way. But yeah, the spider's cool. A lot of the visuals and stuff in the movie are pretty good. It's it does a good job, I think, of like kind of telling a story that is in space, but it isn't really about space. It's really just about like the distance that people put between each other and their relationships, which I think it does a really good job with. I don't think these were the right characters to like for the audience to in any way root for either one of them, because it's like why were either of you ever together?
Let's be real. You're rooting for the spider.
Yeah.
You're rooting for the mentality here. You know.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't hate my time with it. I'd probably give it an 8. Like, I thought it was pretty good.
Give it an old school.
I like it.
That
Press.
means why is it? All right.
Does it have to top it?
Whatever. I thought it'd go this. Whatever. I mean, the biggest thing I can say to the positive end of this movie is that I didn't feel my time with it. Like I said, in fat, thin, whatever. It's so hard to say when you're not thinking
Fat, thin,
about
perfectly
it.
fit, brother. You just gotta say it a million
even though
times.
we've been doing
and
like
you won't
5
think
years.
about it.
I didn't feel my time with this movie, and I thought about it afterward, and I don't know why I didn't, because I don't have any strong opinions about this movie. I didn't hate my time with it, but I definitely didn't love my time with it. I liked the last quarter of the movie when Hanush really kind of came into his own, like after Hanush left Adam Sandler and is like, yeah, I can't do anything with you. You figure it out. And then he wound up coming back. Like, once he came back and they had that really good discussion and went on from there, I really enjoyed it. I think the end of it kind of got too a bit full of itself with the ending and like, I can see sounds and I can do all this. I don't need that. I hate it when movies get up their ass about that kind of stuff, which is what the whole movie Interstellar is. And then everything before it.
Why does he keep mentioning it?
Why does he keep mentioning Interstellar?
The ads were really annoying just because they didn't fully delve into that thought. It's been said already. I didn't like his wife at any point. I don't think you're supposed to.
I don't think you're supposed
but
to.
it would play a lot better if she seemed more sympathetic and she was just at the end of her rope and she was just like, I can't do it anymore. And in the past, it was shown that when they met, he was a turd from the beginning. Like he was
a wet
nothing.
noodle. Yeah.
She knew what she signed up for when she met him, and then when he's in space by himself, she's like feeling both emotionally distant and physically distant, even though he's been distant the whole time they've been together. So it's like, why now? To make a plot for this movie, it seemed really contrived and dumb and lazy. But again, the spider's pretty neat though. I had a good time with it. So I'm gonna give this movie a 4.5. Didn't hate my time with it, but still mid.
One part of the review I absolutely agree with on Price. The spider's pretty neat though, which is more or less going to sum up my whole thing.
What about that spider though?
Yeah, I felt my time on this movie. This movie was like an hour 40, and it was one of the ones where I'm like, fuck, this movie's still going. And to be fair, a lot of it felt like in the first half of it, I was just like, which again is like, I mean, 60, 70, like, I don't know, 40, 50 minutes or something like that. And I'm just like, I'm slogging. Like, I'm having a hard time. The spider's here, and I'm like, alright, that's cool. And that's a smooth, buttery voice, Paul Dino. But,
that's good.
But what the fuck are we doing? Like, was like my literal thoughts into this. I'm like, great, now there's a spider. And, they were doing like the flashback stuff, and I'm like, and now we're getting more Adam Sandler, and I'm just like, what do I like from this movie? And I thought about it for a second. I'm like, it's just the spider.
And I'm like, most of the movie.
Yes, but the spider's not the main character. It is a side character kind of pushing into like the main character's psyche. And every time where it was like, hey, let's talk about you, Adam Sandler. And it's just like, fuck, can we not? Can we talk about you, Hanush? You're like, it just felt way more interesting. All the parts where they check out from Adam Sandler and the spider, with like the wife and home base and stuff like that, I was just like, kind of out of it for it. I wasn't here for it. The wife was unsympathetic on purpose, but at the same time, there's also it's what I would critique Raw for, doing too good of a job.
Yeah.
Where I was just like, I really don't care about her. Like, and to the point where I'm like, I'm annoyed that I'm viewing any point of this story from her perspective. So I did feel my time on this one. It's not objectively a bad movie though. It's not bad, and for especially what it could have been, Adam Sandler in space.
Yeah,
the bar was in hell.
We went into it pretty rough.
I went into the 6 foot part of the pool, and I ended up in the 3 foot.
And you couldn't even swim.
Yeah,
you kind of have panic
swim. It's true, I can't swim. So all things considered, I'll round it out right about a 6.5. There's enough in it that's got like some fun merits. It's still like, it's a bad movie with good aspects to it, but I wouldn't put it into like a 7. Because it's got to be a little bit more interesting than that. Yeah. It's a little too boring for me, but Noosh is banger.
The boring aspect, I'm afraid, will never leave, and like that's the problem with this movie.
Yeah,
I do think you fix a lot of it if you fix the wife. You don't take her out, but you do implement a character that you care for.
Anna de Armas would have done it for me. She did it in Blade Runner 2049.
She didn't even need to talk.
She didn't.
You could plug in anybody and just give them a little bit of a background.
What about
just
me?
a little bit.
Nope.
No.
Oh.
You and Adam Sandler go together as well.
Yeah, you guys.
Mulligan
I like
the only one
carrots.
we're swapping you for is Adam Sandler.
I don't know if you needed to help her. I think you needed to help him in the flashbacks. Like make him
I think he needed to be more
somebody to where you
sympathetic.
could like understand why.
Why do I care about Adam
In the
Sandler?
Dylan cut of this
understand why
movie.
she
Yes.
cared about him. Not that like you don't need to care about him. You can pity him. You can look down on him, but. You need to see some reason why she was interested to begin with.
Yes, I agree.
No, you need a Jeopardy contestant as a wife. You need someone who's very smart, very monotone to match his energy, and give them some kind of companionship to begin with.
We're just describing two autistic people, aren't we?
They don't match up, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
they never matched up. That was our issue from the very beginning.
The chemistry isn't there.
It's awful, and it doesn't make you pull for the relationship. I watched it with Miriam, and the very first question I had.
Why?
10 minutes in,
I
I
like
said,
torture
does he
Miriam.
make it off of this ship? Does he make it home?
Yeah.
And both of us said no.
No way.
And I think it would have been just fine like that too. Like I think that
I kind of figured that's where it was gonna go.
Just imploding some kind of gravity, but of course gravity that kind of.
But gravity,
they
gravity,
make it,
so they can't do that.
But
Did she like it?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Hey, you know what? He picked his partner precisely. Yeah.
True.
But I think that is my biggest issue with it. I didn't mind Adam Sandler's very monotone the entire
Fair, we
time,
asked her
talking to
if
Mission
she
Control.
liked it. We should ask, did she not hate it? That's more of a full circle.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I think it still lands at an 8 for me. I genuinely did like this movie, but it did have some pretty heavy problems with it.
Mason, I can't read where you're going on scores. Been doing this for 5 years. You and Nathan are the hardest to read.
Yeah.
I don't understand. You'd be like, I hated this movie.
I've got a good read on
It's an
Mason
8.
at this point, but I wasn't sure how high he was going.
Mason's
I
like,
don't know how Nathan was going to be because he likes what was the Loss of Self, right, from Annihilation.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that this movie was going to be
You like
sort
that
of tied into
concept, and it
that.
has space, so you probably can't get a less than a 7.5.
And that's what I was thinking.
This.
I
Yeah,
was like, Nathan, in theory, should like
it's checking
this.
enough boxes.
He's mentally unwell. Not you. Him.
Yes.
It was a pretty movie.
Yeah, it was a pretty movie too. I won't hate on that.
So-
The Netflix budget was there for this movie.
Money Plane did it better.
It's
Yeah,
true.
we should have just rewatched Money Plane.
Can we do it? Can we?
Money Plane.
Money play.
you
wanna say-
You nailed it.
I know. I've gotten really good at practicing it.
That
You
was good.
said it
Yeah.
100 times a day since then.
I every now and again I'll just sit there with money play.
You want to see a guy hug a spider?
Yeah.
God.
Money
we,
shit
we,
we're
don't,
talking about.
we don't appreciate money
All
play
right.
in the way
It was
Stall for a
appreciated,
second. I'm looking
yeah,
up Rotten
appropriately.
Tomatoes.
Yeah, go ahead and
Talking
look
about
up
Money Plane.
Well, we're talking about Money Plane though. I did think it was weird that there was not enough nudity in this movie.
Oh, when they strip for the
Yeah, ripe opportunity.
Carey Mulligan's got nude a lot too. Which is
Yeah,
kinda...
I know. That was. I mean, they did Julia Fox. Might as well do Carey Mulligan.
God.
Jeez, you know, like
Yeah.
Carrie Russell even.
Well,
Oh.
critics
Oh,
give
yeah.
it a perfect 50-50 right down the middle.
Yeah, hey, which is pretty fair, right
Very
down the middle.
contentious.
Yeah, yeah.
I was there.
But the audience agree with me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and Dylan is the audience at 65%.
Yeah, I am the. You're right. I am the audience. I
You
did
are
watch
the
this
audience
movie.
on this one,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Yeah. Without further ado,
Let's do the wheel.
let's do the.
If it lands on my slice,
It's my time,
I'm going
boys.
to scream.
I don't think
Well,
one of
that would
mine
be
have
your
been
third.
hit yet.
It's the last
I haven't had one hit yet.
The ruse.
The what?
The ruse.
The ruse?
one. Oh, the kangaroos. I think that was last
That was
season.
That
Tank
was
Girl.
last season.
That was last
Oh.
season.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Mason Rectors.
Oh, so all of Mason.
It's Mason again.
It's enough slices!
It's the Mason season.
Yeah, Mason, that's your last one, buddy.
Mason, what is marsupia? Please don't say kangaroo jack.
It is not. It's called possum, and it's...
Are they looking for trouble, Mason?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna sit out the rest of this season, I think. 'Cause
Yeah.
I
It's
don't really
just
have
called
any need to
possum.
Yeah.
Mason.
This sounds awesome.
Mason, you had mentioned last
Not a
movie.
blind pick.
You had mentioned last one that your movies have a theme. Can you reveal the theme now?
No.
What the
What
heck
the-
is this?
Yep.
What is that?
I've
What?
not seen it.
What
I
is
don't know what that is.
That's not a possum.
So is it spiders?
Up top.
Is the theme spiders?
It is.
What?
And
What
Jill
about
could've
Scream?
followed the-
What is
Jill did
Scream?
not follow the assignment.
What on earth?
I have no idea what this
Look
movie
up
is.
less. In fact, it won't
This-
matter.
I'm not doing it anymore.
We
I'm not
are-
touching this.
Yeah, it's got a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes,
Get the
man.
fuck out. Possum?
Yeah.
A movie called Possum.
I'm ready. I love that
Oh
name.
my God.
I wish it was about possums.
Well, we don't know. It's not.
We don't
about
That's the
know.
thing. It
I
might
mean,
have a smidge of
I'm
them.
definitely interested, but this is like some Hellraiser stuff.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm current.
Don't say less. Say less.
Say less. I want to know less.
I saw that one picture of him going like this. That's all I
That's
want.
all you need.
It's kind of like Wizards of Waverly Place or whatever with the white.
No, you're thinking of Wizards of what's the one?
Oh, the Wizards of the Lost Kingdom.
Lost
or
Kingdom.
whatever?
Sure, but
Yeah.
I saw that picture of the white rabbit thing. I watched our
Oh, like
Chewbacca.
I watched
Yeah.
our like 200 episode or whatever, and like I mentioned that the costume
Yeah.
in the best costume we've done. I was
That's
like,
that's stinky
I
kind of
just
costume.
love it.
We couldn't get over like.
That
Did you
still
think about the
is amazing.
smell of Chewbacca? Jesus.
And he's like, what the noise he make? It was just like, "Roar."
No, it wasn't even
Yeah,
that.
it's just kind of a weird gargle. Yeah.
Yeah. Goodness.
Oh, Nathan, that was
Did you,
classic.
who are you posting this to? You send this to Miriam?
Hey, do we have our lapel mics?
3 out of 3. Yeah. Can we get? Can we get the?
Yeah, we
lapels?
got them. You want to use them?
Yeah.
He's a liar.
On
He's had
Possum.
him the whole time.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, that's our episode today.
Keep tuning
Make-
into the Mason season.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the Mason podcast.
Next
It's
week
full
it'll
of
be,
spiders,
it is.
apparently.
It'll just
Yeah.
be me on this couch next week.
Spooky spiders all day long. If you like the content we're doing, let us know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you guys want to see somebody else's wheel place got spun? Us too. Do you guys think that
Same
spiders
here.
a weird theme? Us too. Do you think it's sweet that we have 69 subscribers? Hell yeah, us too. Make sure to give us a big fat thumbs up for all the effort we did to get 69 subs. Make sure to hit the bell. Where's the bell?
I'm over here.
Okay.
Like, comment, don't subscribe.
Don't do it. Don't unsubscribe
Hey,
either.
don't subscribe.
Don't unsubscribe. Don't subscribe. We're fine. We're peak. This is
We're
as good as it's
content.
ever going to be. We can actually retire now,
Yeah.
but we're already...
Took us 4 years.
We've got to
and
finish
we're
the
here.
wheel. If we still have... Here's our promise.
We're not promising anything.
We're not promising
I don't
anything.
back this
Here's
up.
our promise. If we finish the wheel and we still have 69 subscribers at the end of it, not more, not less, then that's the last season
Then
of
he,
the
does, then he does the milk challenge.
Yeah, and then we do the... No, it's the egg challenge.
it's the egg
He does the egg challenge.
We
No,
do the
we-
egg challenge.
He does
yeah.
the egg challenge.
We got the dog in us.
Oh yeah.
And it's called the Gaston Challenge, first of all, get it right. But anyways, that's our show, guys. Make sure to tune in next week for Possum. Bye.
Bye.
Mom, please watch this one.
Yeah.
The movie or the review?
This review
No,
or the
okay,
Possum
well-
review? Oh, this turned upside down when it spun.